Have you ever looked at a map of Borneo and wondered what still remains hidden beyond the headlines, beyond the crowded tourist destinations, beyond the places the world talks about every day? Because deep in the heart of Indonesian Borneo lies a region that few people truly understand, yet one that quietly carries the story of rivers, forests, resilience, and human ambition on a scale that is almost impossible to comprehend. This is Kotawaringin Timur, a vast regency in the province of central Kalimantan that stretches across approximately 16,796 square kilometers, an area larger than many countries and regions around the world. At first glance, it may seem like just another administrative region on a map, but when you look closer, a remarkable story begins to unfold, a story written by powerful rivers, a story shaped by ancient landscapes, a story carried by hundreds of thousands of people who call this extraordinary corner of Borneo home. Located between 112 degrees and 113 degrees east longitude and between 1 degree and 3 degrees south latitude, Kotawaringin Timur occupies a strategic position within central Kalimantan. To the north lies Katingan Regency. To the south stretches the vast Java Sea. To the west stands Seruyan Regency, and to the east lies another frontier connected to the dynamic landscapes of central Kalimantan. Yet maps and coordinates alone cannot capture what makes this place special, because the true lifeblood of Kotawaringin Timur flows through water. The mighty Mentaya River cuts through the region like a living artery, connecting communities, supporting livelihoods, and shaping history itself. For generations, rivers have been the highways of Borneo. Long before modern roads connected villages and towns, waterways served as the primary routes for trade, transportation, communication, and survival. The Mentaya River remains one of the defining features of Kotawaringin Timur. Its waters tell stories of fishermen heading out before dawn, stories of traders moving goods between settlements, stories of families whose lives have been connected to the river for generations. Around it flow numerous tributaries that branch across the landscape like veins, carrying life deep into the heart of the Regency. Together, these waterways create an intricate network that has influenced settlement patterns, economic development, and cultural traditions for centuries. When viewed from above, the geography of Kotawaringin Timur reveals another fascinating reality. Most of the Regency consists of lowland terrain, stretching from the southern coastline toward the central regions. These broad lowlands create unique ecosystems that support diverse wildlife, agriculture, forestry, and human settlements. The landscape transitions through forests, wetlands, river systems, and coastal environments that form some of the most ecologically significant areas in Indonesian Borneo. This is a land where nature still dominates the horizon, a place where vast skies meet endless green landscapes, a place where rivers remain as important today as they were hundreds of years ago. Yet Kotawaringin Timur is not merely a story of geography, it is a story of people. Because every great region is ultimately defined not by its borders, but by the communities that bring it to life. In 2021, the population of Kotawaringin Timur reached approximately 416,384 people. Among them were more than 215,000 men and over 201,000 women. Together, they represent a diverse and dynamic society shaped by migration, tradition, entrepreneurship, and cultural heritage. Their stories form the foundation of the Regency's identity. Some live in bustling urban neighborhoods, others reside in remote villages surrounded by forests and rivers. Some work in trade and services, others depend on agriculture, plantations, fisheries, transportation, and various industries that drive the local economy. Despite different backgrounds and occupations, they all contribute to the remarkable development of this region. The administrative structure of Kotawaringin Timur reflects both its size and complexity. The regency consists of 17 districts, 17 urban villages, and 168 rural villages. Each district possesses its own unique character, challenges, and opportunities. Together, they form a network of communities spread across one of central Kalimantan's most important regions. At the center of this network lies Sampit. For many Indonesians, Sampit serves as the gateway to Kotawaringin Timur. It is the economic and administrative heart of the Regency and one of the most significant urban centers in central Kalimantan. The districts of Mentaya Baru, Ketapang, and Bamang host the largest concentration of residents. These urban areas have become centers of commerce, education, public services, and regional growth. Here, modern development intersects with local traditions. Markets buzz with activity. Schools shape future generations. Businesses create opportunities, and communities continue building a future while honoring their roots. But the story of Kotawaringin Timur extends far beyond its urban centers. Across the Regency, villages remain deeply connected to the natural environment. In many areas, rivers still serve as essential transportation routes. Local traditions continue to thrive. Community bonds remain strong, and daily life reflects a relationship with nature that has endured for generations. What makes Kotawaringin Timur especially fascinating is its position within one of the world's most important ecological regions. Borneo is internationally recognized as one of Earth's great biodiversity hotspots. Its forests contain countless plant and animal species, many of which exist nowhere else. The landscapes surrounding Kotawaringin Timur contribute to this extraordinary natural heritage. These ecosystems play critical roles in climate regulation, water management, biodiversity conservation, and environmental sustainability. Their importance extends far beyond regional boundaries. They matter not only to Indonesia, but to the entire world. And this reality places Kotawaringin Timur at the intersection of two defining challenges of the modern era: the challenge of development and the challenge of conservation. How can communities continue improving livelihoods while protecting the natural systems that sustain them? How can economic growth coexist with environmental stewardship? How can future generations inherit both prosperity and a healthy environment? These are questions being asked across the globe, and they are equally relevant here. The story of Kotawaringin Timur is therefore not just a local story, it is a global story, a reflection of the choices humanity faces in the 21st century. A reminder that progress is not simply about building more, it is about building wisely. It is about ensuring that development benefits people while preserving the resources that future generations will depend upon. Beyond statistics and geography lies something even more powerful: the spirit of the people. Because resilience has always been one of Borneo's defining characteristics. Life in this vast landscape has never been easy. Communities have adapted to changing environments, economic shifts, technological transformations, and social challenges. They have built homes along rivers, created businesses in growing towns, raised families across villages and urban centers, and continued moving forward through every era of change. That determination remains visible today. You can see it in students pursuing education and dreaming of brighter futures. You can see it in entrepreneurs creating new opportunities. You can see it in workers contributing to local industries. You can see it in community leaders striving to improve public services and quality of life. And you can see it in families who continue investing hope in the generations that will follow them. This is why Kotawaringin Timur deserves attention. Not because it seeks the spotlight, not because it dominates international headlines, but because it represents something profoundly important. It represents the strength of places that quietly keep moving forward, the strength of communities that continue building despite obstacles, the strength of regions whose contributions often go unnoticed by the wider world. When people think of great stories, they often imagine famous cities, iconic landmarks, or globally recognized destinations. Yet some of the most meaningful stories are found elsewhere. They are found along rivers that continue flowing through generations. They are found in communities that preserve traditions while embracing progress. They are found in places like Kotawaringin Timur, a regency shaped by geography, powered by its people, connected by rivers, defined by resilience, and driven by a vision of a better future. So the next time you look at a map of Borneo, do not see an empty green space. Do not see a distant corner of Indonesia. See a living landscape. See hundreds of thousands of dreams. See communities connected by one of the great river systems of Kalimantan. See a region where nature and humanity continue writing their story together. Because Kotawaringin Timur is more than a place. It is proof that greatness does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes greatness flows quietly, like the Mentaya River. Sometimes greatness grows steadily, village by village, generation by generation. And sometimes greatness is found in the heart of Borneo, where the story of Kotawaringin Timur continues to inspire all who take the time to discover it. But the deeper you travel into the story of Kotawaringin Timur, the more you realize that this regency is not simply a place defined by its present. It is a place shaped by centuries of movement, adaptation, and transformation. Long before modern administrative boundaries existed, the rivers of this region connected people across vast distances. The waterways became pathways of trade, cultural exchange, and communication. Communities emerged along riverbanks because water was life. The river provided transportation. The river provided food. The river connected families and settlements to the wider world. Even today, despite the growth of highways and modern infrastructure, the influence of the river remains impossible to ignore. The Mentaya River continues to shape economic activity, transportation networks, and the identity of the region itself. For many residents, the river is not merely a geographic feature, it is part of their personal history, part of their childhood memories, part of the stories passed from grandparents to grandchildren. This connection between people and nature is one of Kotawaringin Timur's greatest strengths. In a rapidly changing world where many communities are becoming increasingly disconnected from their environment, Kotawaringin Timur still maintains a profound relationship with the land and water that sustain it. The forests, wetlands, rivers, and coastal zones are not distant wilderness. They are living systems that support everyday life. Every harvest, every fishing trip, every journey, every community gathering, every sunrise over the river carries reminders of this connection. And yet Kotawaringin Timur is not trapped in the past. Far from it. Over recent decades, the Regency has experienced significant growth and modernization. Infrastructure has expanded, educational opportunities have increased, public services have improved. Technology has connected communities in ways previous generations could scarcely imagine. Young people growing up in Kotawaringin Timur today live in a world that is dramatically different from that of their grandparents. They have access to information from across the globe. They can connect instantly with people thousands of kilometers away. They can pursue educational and professional opportunities that were once beyond reach. This transformation has created both opportunities and challenges. because every generation faces a critical question. How do you embrace the future without losing the values that made your community strong in the first place? For Kotawaringin Timur, the answer may lie in balance. A balance between tradition and innovation. A balance between growth and sustainability. A balance between economic progress and environmental responsibility. The Regency's future will depend not only on what it builds, but on how it builds. Not only on how quickly it develops, but on how wisely it develops. This is especially important because Kotawaringin Timur occupies a strategic position within central Kalimantan's economic landscape. Its location provides access to both inland and coastal resources. Its transportation networks connect communities across large distances. Its population provides human capital capable of driving future growth. And its natural resources create opportunities that, if managed responsibly, can contribute to prosperity for generations. Yet perhaps the greatest resource of all is not found beneath the soil or within the forests. It is found within the people themselves. History repeatedly demonstrates that regions succeed when they invest in human potential. When children receive quality education, when entrepreneurs receive opportunities to innovate, when workers develop new skills, when communities have access to healthcare, infrastructure, and public services, when citizens are empowered to participate in shaping their own future. These investments create lasting progress. They create resilience. They create prosperity that extends beyond economic statistics. And across Kotawaringin Timur, there are countless examples of individuals striving toward these goals every day. Teachers working to educate the next generation. Healthcare professionals serving communities across urban and rural areas. Farmers adapting to changing conditions. Business owners creating jobs. Students pursuing dreams that may one day transform their communities. Each story may seem small on its own, but together they form a powerful narrative of determination and hope. This is often the hidden story behind development. People see roads, people see buildings, people see economic figures, but real progress begins with people. Behind every statistic is a human story, a family working toward a better future, a child pursuing an education, a worker building a career, a community overcoming challenges together. Kotawaringin Timur's journey is ultimately a story about those people, the people who wake before dawn to begin their work, the people who navigate rivers and roads to connect communities, the people who preserve cultural traditions while embracing new opportunities, the people who believe that tomorrow can be better than today. And perhaps that belief is the most powerful force of all, because throughout history, every great achievement began with the conviction that improvement was possible, that challenges could be overcome, that communities could grow stronger, that the future could be shaped rather than simply accepted. As the world continues changing at unprecedented speed, regions like Kotawaringin Timur remind us of something important. Progress does not happen overnight. It happens gradually, through persistence, through cooperation, through vision, through countless individual efforts that accumulate across years and decades. The story of Kotawaringin Timur is still being written. Every new business adds a chapter. Every graduating student adds a chapter. Every infrastructure project adds a chapter. Every community initiative adds a chapter. Every family striving for a better life adds another chapter. And unlike the stories found in books, this one has no final page yet. Its future remains open. Its possibilities remain vast. Its next generation will determine what comes next. Perhaps that is what makes this place so compelling. It is not merely a story about geography. It is not merely a story about population statistics or administrative boundaries. It is a story about potential, the potential of a region, the potential of its people, the potential of a future that is still waiting to be created. From the waters of the Mentaya River to the neighborhoods of Sampit, from remote villages to growing urban centers, from forests and wetlands to schools and marketplaces, a powerful transformation continues unfolding, quietly, steadily, purposefully, and while much of the world may never notice the details, the people of Kotawaringin Timur live that story every single day. They are not merely witnesses to change, they are the authors of it, the builders of it, the guardians of it, and the beneficiaries of it, because the true measure of a region is not found only in its size, its resources, or its economic statistics. The true measure of a region is found in its ability to inspire hope, to create opportunity, to preserve identity, and to build a future worthy of the generations yet to come. That is the promise of Kotawaringin Timur, a promise carried by rivers, strengthened by communities, guided by resilience, and powered by the dreams of more than 400,000 people who continue proving that even in the heart of Borneo, extraordinary stories are still being written every single day.